गाइस, आप सभी का स्वागत है मेरे YouTube चैनल पर अप स्टडी टाइम। एंड मैं यहाँ पे अपने 4th लेक्चर वीडियो के साथ आ चुकी हूँ, विच आई विल बी कवरिंग अबाउट different fields of psychology, and this is the part 2 of my video from this topic. Now let us read more about the part 2. So in part 2 we'll be covering about applied psychology. So we'll be talking more about applied psychology. In part 2 we are gonna speak more about applied psychology. Now I in my part 1 spoke about pure psychology, and when this pure psychology, which is basically the theory, when the theory is being applied at various setting, then it comes under applied psychology. Now let us see where are these settings where you can apply psychology. So the first one is educational psychology. So in educational psychology, you basically apply the theory at education centers, right? So you apply your psychological theories at educational centers. And here in educational centers, जब आप अपने psychological principles और theories और technique को apply करते हो, तो आप human behavior को तो जानते हो, और इसमें human mainly कौन होगा? Students होंगे educational center पे, और जो वर्क करते हैं टीचर्स होंगे. तो ये सारे ह्यूमन बिहेवियर्स हम लोग एक एजुकेशनल सेटिंग में समझ सकते हैं. एक एजुकेशनल सेटिंग हियर कैन बी अ स्कूल, कैन बी अ कॉलेज, इट कैन बी अ कोचिंग सेंटर, it can be anything. So you're applying your psychology, all the principles and the theories and the techniques to understand the educational situation. And from this, you can also, when you apply it on teachers, the teaching methods and styles can be improved. When you apply it on students, then you can know that where is this person lagging behind, or what can be his favorite mode of studying, and then you can implement the same based on the majority. You can also advise the career choices that one can have after completing their 10th standard. In future, you can guide them. So vocational and educational guidance can also be provided. So here the psychology is being applied. After this, you have clinical psychology. So when I say clinical psychology, you have abnormal psychology, which is the theory, where abnormal psychology we learned it is one of the subfield of pure psychology, and only there you study about mental disorders. So when you're studying about mental disorders in clinical, these mental illnesses, the mental disorder that a person has, okay, these both are being treated, causes are being found out, and then the right medicines are given, and they are helping the individual to adjust to the society. So clinical psychology. Yeah, so clinical psychology is somewhere you apply your psychological theories and everything into a clinical setting. So clinical setting is mostly a hospital where psychological disordered patients are being treated. The third type is industrial psychology. In industrial psychology, the psychological principles and all the things that one person can apply on the employee and on the organization to make the organization more workful and environment friendly for a workplace, and how to increase their money, how to increase their money by applying psychology. Because if they are having a healthy set of employees, because they will be applying the principles to recruit these employees, and if these people are a healthy set of employees, when I say healthy, it is both mentally and physically healthy people who are willing to work, and what is their motivation, and everything is taken care of, then the profit is being generated, which will boon up the company. And this is what each entrepreneur or each man would want, that they should grow more and more. So industrial psychology deals with all of these. It will also be taking care of the placement programs and everything, right? तो ये है industrial psychology का main work in applied branch. फोर्थ वाला क्या है? फोर्थ वाला है लीगल साइकोलॉजी. तो लीगल साइकोलॉजी में क्या होता है कि आप करते हो स्टडी. किसका? यू स्टडी अ पर्सन्स बिहेवियर, एंड from studying the person's behavior you will be helping that what can be the principle, like the what can be the principles that can be involved in a police role to catch the criminals, or what can be the reason why the criminals are going to do things like that, or how can you so there are times जब ऐसा होता है ना कि in cases where a person has witnessed all the crime happening and they are just psychologically um, upset, or they are stressed because they have seen everything, they are traumatized and everything has just happened, or maybe they are stressed enough to think about all of these. When these things are happening, they have anxiety in them, so psychologists play a role, ask them questions and make them feel more comfortable and get all the information that will help them catch the criminal. Here the criminal then will be caught. So in legal psychology the police will be having a benefit in this. Then the fifth one is military psychology. So military setting, when I talk about military, it is the army that plays a major role, and there are many people who work along with the army men and everything, but army people are the one who has to be more strong. Military is someone that protects our country, and military का बहुत major role है हमारे life में. तो मिलिट्री के बारे में जब मैं बात करूं तो हमारे जो धरती है यहाँ पे बहुत सारे कंट्रीज हैं और सारे कंट्री में अपनी अपनी मिलिट्री है. तो इस मिलिट्री को बहुत अच्छे से चुनना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि अगर यू हैव वीक पीपल that is being recruited, weak people that is being selected in the military, then they will not be good leaders. No, they'll not be good leaders. You want to have good people, right? You'll not have good leaders and they'll not be doing the roles that they have to play to save the country. That's why you have to get good people. And there are times when these people witness a lot of bloodshed and everything. So psychology plays a role in helping them overcome the trauma and make them mentally strong, and choosing people who are strong enough and stuff. सिक्स्थ वाला है पॉलिटिकल साइकोलॉजी. पॉलिटिकल साइकोलॉजी में क्या होता है कि आप अपना साइकोलॉजी पॉलिटिक्स में कैसे लगा रहे हो. पॉलिटिक्स, it is something that is present in a country like India, which is a democratic country, and you have multiple parties. So कि multiple parties है तो it is hard for one to rule, but here people are the one who chooses, right? So how will they apply psychology, and then they will make people vote for them. So psychology is being applied. So how are they manipulating? You can say this, maybe manipulating, or they are doing or following different strategies that will help them tell people that they really can change the world, or they are the leaders that has to be selected. So through psychological principles they will play a major role. And the last one is counseling psychology, right? Counseling psychology. In counseling psychology, a family, the workplace, when all these things are not going smoothly, you counsel the client. You counsel the client and help them have a better, smoother life. So these are the subfields of applied psychology. The first one was educational psychology. The second one was clinical psychology. Third one was industrial psychology. We also read about legal psychology. We looked into military psychology. We also now know what political psychology is. And the very last one was counseling psychology. So this is applied psychology, a branch, and these are the subfields that are present in the branch applied psychology. So thanks guys. Do like the video, share it, and subscribe. Have a good day.